Good morning. In today's session, we are supposed to study about the line coding technique, which we are supposed to use on a baseband transmission. We are saying for the line coding output of multiplexer. Here we are using the TDM, PCM TDM. So we can say the output of TDM is coded into a waveform or electrical pulses for the purpose of transmission over a baseband transmission. So when we are supposed to use the multiplexer, at that time we are taking the source via multiplexer. So here we are having the many possible way to do this transmission. The simplest way we can use the line coding, because here we are using the all digital transmission system that can be designed around some particular form of a pulse response. So here when we are using the line coding, at that time line coding is a pattern of a signals that can be used to represent the digital data that we can transmit over a baseband channel, or we can say over a transmission line. So here some signals will have more prone to error than the others. At that time when we are conveying over a communication channel, at that time the storage medium of signal that can be used, that will be reliable. So here we will see there are some common line encoding techniques like unipolar, polar and the bipolar. So here we are saying when we are supposed to do digital communication, we are supposed to transmit bits over a baseband channel, over a fiber, over a wire. At that time we are having the many options like line coding. At that time we will require the clock signal as well as the synchronization and the power spectrum of line codes. At that time how much bandwidth we will require. So here we are saying our goal is to transmit the digital data. It means what? Here we can transmit PCM encoded voice, we can transmit financial information, we can transmit MPEG encoded video. Like we are supposed to transmit the binary data. So transmission distance is very large enough that communication bandwidth is comparable to a signal bandwidth. And connections between nearly logic gates have bandwidth that will be greater than the switching speed. So no line coding is needed. But when we will require longer connections, that time we can use pulse shaping. So we can take multiple links that can be used with the regenerative repeater. So firstly, when we are talking about the baseband communication, what we are doing? We are taking the message signal, we are giving that to an encoder via baseband modulation. It means what? We can do a line coding and we can give that to a digital carrier modulation. So we will get the output signal. That also we can take other signals. We can give to the multiplexer, we can give via channel through a regenerative repeater. So when we are saying there is a small transmission bandwidth, at that time we can use the line coding, because we are saying line coding requirement is it is requiring small transmission bandwidth. Its power efficiency is as small as possible for required data rate and for the error probability. It will be error detection as well as error corrections. Timing informations will be needed. It means what? Clock must be extracted from a data. All possible binary sequence we can transmit. So it will needed here transparency. It will be suitable. It will require suitable power spectral density. It means what? Here we will require power density that will be suitable. We can take example like little low frequency content. So here we will see different types of line coding techniques. Firstly, we will see about the unipolar encoding. So here we are saying when we are supposed to transmit digital data, we can do digital transmission by sending a voltage pulses along a cable, along a baseband channel. In unipolar encoding, the polarity is assigned to 1 bit, and while 0 bit is represented by 0 voltage. It means what? Here we can give high level by using 1, or you can take positive A volt, and you can give 0 level or 0 voltage by using the digit 0. So here unipolar encoding has two main components. These are nothing but 0 and 1. 0 for 0 level and 1 for high level. After that we are saying it will have two problems, because it will require DC component. DC component already we have seen. And there is a lack of synchronization. Synchronization also we have seen, because all are having the same value. So here we are saying unipolar is having DC component which is undesirable. Also it will have lack of synchronization. So here we are saying the average amplitude of unipolar encoded signal is non-zero, which will create a DC component which is undesirable. And if the data contains long sequence of 1 and 0, here we can lose the synchronization, because we are saying it is having the lack of synchronization. So we can say when pulse occupies full duration, it will be unipolar, non-return to 0. Non-return to 0. And if it has DC component, that pulse will occupies half duration. If full duration के लिए है तो हम बोल रहे हैं unipolar non-return to 0. And when pulse will occupied for half duration, at that time you can say it will be a unipolar return to 0. You can see the diagram for the unipolar encoding. Here we are using only 0 and 1. So you can see when we are having the 0 volt voltage, and when we are having maximum plus A, or you can say 1 volt, at that time we are taking it is as a high level. So you are saying if we are representing pulse for the full duration, we can say that as a unipolar non-return to 0. And if that pulse will occupies only for half duration, we can say that as a unipolar return to 0. So now when we are talking about the line encoding technique, at that time our second type of line coding is nothing but the polar encoding, or we can say a polar coding. So here polar encoding uses the two voltage level. These are nothing but positive and negative. It means what? You can take plus 1 minus 1, or you can take plus A minus A. But when we are talking about unipolar, it is only using two values, 0 and 1, 0 and plus A. But when we are talking about polar, it will take two values. These are nothing but plus A minus A. So here if we are talking about one value, 1 will represent by plus A and 0 will be represented by negative level, because here we are giving high level, that will be plus A, and negative level we are taking as a minus A. So we can say it can be used in a commercial pulse code modulations telephony, because it is using both value, plus A minus A. Again if you see, we can say it has no DC component, which is the disadvantage of a unipolar, because we are saying there we will need the DC component, but it has no DC component, provided there are equal ones and equal zeros. So we can say here if there are equal ones and equal zero, so there will be synchronization also. So now we can say there are different types of polar encoding, like non-return to 0, return to 0, Manchester, differential Manchester. We will see one by one. Firstly, we will see about non-return to 0. So here we are saying non-return to 0. encoding in which the value of signal is always either a positive or a negative. Because we are saying non return to zero, मतलब zero नहीं रहेगा, क्या रहेगा? It will be either positive or it will be either negative. There are two popular forms of non return to zero: non return to zero L and non return to zero I. So we are saying non return to zero L, it is nothing but non return to zero level. So a positive voltage means 0 bit and negative voltage means 1 bit. Here values are opposite, you can observe. Here we are saying if we are having the positive voltage, we can denote by a 0. And if it is having a negative voltage, we can denote by a 1. But if you see for the advantage of non-return to zero coding are, these are easy to engineer and it makes efficient use of a bandwidth. Again, if you see the advantage of the non-return to zero encoding, you can say detecting a transition in a presence of noise is more reliable than compare value to a threshold. It means what? If we are using the non-return to zero level, it means what? If we are using that signal, that will be either positive or a negative, that will not to a zero level at that time. That will be easy for engineer, that is making the efficient use of bandwidth. Sorry. We are saying here detecting a transition in a presence of noise is more reliable than if we compare it with a value to a threshold. But here is one disadvantage, like non-return to zero code can be more problematic, because here we will require long string of 1 and 0. So it will loses the synchronization. It will cause loss of synchronization. A problem can be arise when data contains a long stream of 1 and 0. At that time, we can cause to lose synchronization. Now we can see about non-return to zero. Second type is, we are saying non-return to zero invert, because we are saying there are two popular forms of NRZ. These you will be required. There will be the questions on data formats. Data format is nothing but the same line coding. So we are saying there are different types of line coding: polar, unipolar, bipolar. Unipolar, we are using only two values, 0 and 1. Now we are studying about the polar, in which we are saying there are different types. Polar means we can take value plus 1 or a minus 1, plus a or a minus a. So here we are saying we are having non-return to zero, return to zero. In non-return to zero, again we can say we are having two different types. These are nothing but non-return to zero level and non-return to zero invert. So here, as the name given, non-return to zero invert, it is the transition between positive and negative voltage. But here that not the voltage itself, that will represent the value 1 bit. It means what? Here if we are calling about the 0 bit, it will represent no change. So we can say non-return to zero invert, it is better than non-return to zero level, because due to the synchronization will be provided by signal change. Each time a bit is 1 bit is encountered, because if we are using 0 bit, we are saying there will be no change. So here we will get the synchronization. So we can say non-return to zero invert. Here if we are doing the transition between positive and negative voltage, at that time that will represent 1 bit. A 0 bit is represented by no change if we are not doing any change, and if we are doing any transition between 1 and 0, at that time we are saying that as a 1 bit. So here we are saying non-return to zero invert is better than non-return to zero level due to the synchronization provided by signal change. Each time we will get 1 bit that will be encountered. So we can say both non-return to zero level and non-return to 0 I. Both are having the synchronization problem. But as compared to non-return to 0 level, non-return to 0 invert, it will have less synchronization problem. But if you see the diagram for non-return to 0 L and non-return to 0 I encoding, you can see here non-return to 0 L. It means what? It will have the value that will be, if it is negative, if it is positive, you can see here we are taking, if it is positive we are taking 0, and if it is negative we are taking 1. We are taking exactly negative, exactly vice versa. You can see here it is a transition that will represent 1 bit. Here when we are talking about the non-return to 0, we are saying positive means 0 bit and negative means 1 bit. That's why you can say 0 means positive and 1 means negative. When we are talking about non-return to I, at that time transition becomes, because next bit is 1. So you can see here, if there is a 1, at that time only we are doing the transition. And if there is a bit 0, we are saying there will be no change. If there is bit 0, we can take as it is. And if there is a 1, you are supposed to do transition. So we can say there are two types, non-return to 0 level and non-return to 0 invert. These are the types of the polar encoding. Now you can see the spectrum of non-return to 0 L and non-return to 0 I. You can see the diagram. Here we are taking on the y-axis